Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to PMDC online lecture room. My name is Miss Fazilat, lecturer in English at PMDC Girls Peshawar. Today's topic is about Thomas Hardy and we will discuss his art of characterization, women characters and his rustic characters etc. This is one of the most important topic because it will help you to answer the question usually asked in BICEP exam in English elective paper that write about Thomas Hardy's art of characterization. Hardy is well known for his art of characterization. He is famous for his variety of characters, whether they are man characters or women characters. They all are superb and they are well known in the English literature. Hardy mastery in the art of characterization is seldom questioned. Once we open the door of memory and a large train of his great characters enters in. He is not only the creator of great male characters but also female characters inhabit our mind and heart. His great male characters contain Gabriel Oak, Jude, Henry Knight, Michael Henchard, Angel Clare. All these male characters, these protagonists, certainly not all, but most of them are creature of intellect. His great female characters are the creature of passion. The most alive of the women of Hardy are Tess of the D'Urbervilles. We also see in Far From Madding Crowd the heroine Bathsheba Everdeen. Also we saw Elizabeth Jane. So all these female characters love their lovers passionately, and passion is used with a spiritual significance, and this passion leads him or is taken by Hardy in a mystical sense. For example, if we see Bathsheba, she loves her lover with intensity, without any reason, and that is why the heroine of the Hardy and their love tends to attain spiritual heights. Whenever Hardy describes men or women, he does it not like a photographer. He doesn't represent them like a portrait. So his characters are real and they are lifelike. So we see his characters are not portraits but living beings. And then these living beings are not only living beings but human beings as well. They are neither angels nor devils. They belong to earth, they are earthy, and they are gems but flawed gems, not pure gems. Hardy's villains are there, but these villains are not unredeemed villains. He simply can't create odious people. Odiousness implies a meanness, and mean people neither feel deeply nor are aware of any issues larger than those involved in the gratification of their own selfish desires. That is why we see Sergeant Troy as a villain, but at the end he feels deeply for Fanny Robin, and whatever he did, he was repenting then for it, and he wanted to compensate all his sins or all his mistakes that he did. So the characters of Thomas Hardy are at full length are people whose nature is of sufficient fine quality to make them realize the greatness of the issues in which they are involved. In brief, we can say that these villains, they know they are doing wrong. They are torn with conscience and they are pricked by conscience. We do not dislike them at all. For example, Sergeant Troy, when he repents, we feel pity for him. Hardy portrays human nature very correctly, and for this purpose he chooses his characters from the lower strata of society, because in his opinion the conduct of the upper class is screened by conventions, and thus the real character is not seen. If it is seen, it must be portrayed subjectively, whereas in the lower walks conduct is a direct expression of the inner life, and thus character can be directly portrayed through the act. If we consider his art of character portrayal, it is a question of presentation as well as conception. As far as the question of presentation is concerned, his characters are made living to us by their conversation as well as action. He exhibits, first of all, his characters by their actions. For example, we come to know about Gabriel Oak in Far From Madding Crowd. First, we know about him through his actions, how hardworking he is, how he bore and tolerated his misfortune, and all the actions revealed his personality successfully. Secondly, we know him and his personality through his words. All his characters are the victims of fate. As in previous video I discussed his fatalism theory, that he considers that all his characters are fighting and combating this unseen force of fate. This unseen force, and that is fate. All his protagonists are representative of man fighting against an evil fate. Hardy uses and chooses a limited range for the creation of his characters. So he is always limited to his range of characters in his attachment to the Wessex. This is basically the reason of his attachment to this Wessex area, that he has a limited range in creations of characters. Almost all his characters belong to Wessex and to the lower strata of society. Hardy's range include not great ladies or great men, but common rustic people. But within this limited range, he is an unchallenged master. He has created immortal characters out of this limited range. Let me talk briefly about his women character, as it is said that he had no heroes, only heroines. Means his female characters are stronger than male characters. So it cannot be said of him that he had no heroes, only heroines, or even that his women put the man in the shade. Yet we must admit that admirable as many of his male characters are, they yield both in clarity and intensity of interest to his women. These women stamped themselves on our memories in those heightened moments when their fascination, putting forward its full power, compels the hearts of men. Really, Hardy is almost a specialist in women. For example, even Far From Madding Crowd, if we see the variety of women characters, Bathsheba is stronger than male characters. She is confident, she is independent, and she has so many skills. And she works as a farmer lady. In the same manner, Fanny Robin is a passionate lady. She so devotedly and with loyalty and with her purity loved Sergeant Troy. In Hardy's eyes, the average woman was inferior to the average man, but the uncommon woman was as much a flower of the humankind as the uncommon man. Hardy has dealt in his novels more with the rural type of women, and that is why Hardy's female characters are the most prominent one and dominating one. Let me also talk about the rustic characters of Hardy, which is the soul of his novels, and through these rustic characters he also shows his humor, though basically he is a pessimist and tragic side of life he mostly portrays, but through these rustic characters he show us pure laugh and pure humor of rustic life. So in Far From Madding Crowd, the rustics are first introduced to us at Warren Malthouse, where we meet with the ancient maltster, his 65 years old son and his 40 years old grandson, who speaks of his own grandchildren. So this character was the source of humor. The rustics in Hardy characters are used as expositors, informing us about Bathsheba Everdeen and her background. They are different from the chorus figures of the classical drama in the sense that these rustics carry news as we see in Far From Wedding Crowd, they come and they inform Bathsheba, or they inform Gabriel Oak, or different character. They talk about the major character and reveal their personality to us. So they help in the search of Bathsheba when she elopes, and they transport Fanny's body. It is through them that we come to know that Bathsheba's father was far from a common man, because he went bankrupt. We also learn what sort of a lady Bathsheba is, and the trouble she had with her first bailiff. In the whole novel, not only they are informing us, at times they also become involved in the actions. So, in short, if we say, Hardy brings out his creative skills through the characterization of these rustic chorus, these rustic people. The rustic in Far From Wedding Crowd not only arouse our interest but are an integral part of the whole story. They provide us an unchanging background for the main characters to act out their lives, and besides providing humor in abundance. These rustic evokes a sense of lasting tradition and living culture by their involvement in the unchanging round of farm activities, and by constant references to the past, and conversations such as about the Maltster age brings the past into the present, besides being amusing to the reader. So these rustics also commenting on the main characters and provide us humor as well as the involvement in their tradition and their culture. So overall, if we see Thomas Hardy's art of characterization, in short, we can say that Hardy's characters belong to earth. They are universal characters as well. That is, they are neither realistic only nor types. He not only present the outside view of his creations, he also plunges into the depth of human nature. Overall, if we see in depicting characters, Hardy shows exceptional skills, and that is why he is the master of characterization. Hope students, your idea is clear about Thomas Hardy's art of characterization now. And now it's time to assign you an assignment. Write about Thomas Hardy art of characterization. Write a brief note on Hardy's rustic characters. Why Thomas Hardy's female characters are stronger than male characters. Hope this video will helpful for you to complete your assignment. Wish you all the best. Thanks for watching the video.